As you know, with the CentreCourt MBA Festival, in addition to all of our panels with career services and with the admissions, we love to be able to capture those personal voices of individuals that have taken that leap of faith, applied to the world's top business schools, and the experience they then had and able to share. And I'm delighted to welcome Kellyn Kuhlke, who is a recent graduate from the Cambridge Judge MBA. Kellyn, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, of course, you go back to Notre Dame for undergrad, where you'd already studied BBA, so you had your fair share of finance, accounting, and other core subjects, and then consolidated that, I guess, with a career in finance that you started with Baxter Healthcare, and then held a very senior. You're an executive director with Kuhlke in financial services. So you were enjoying the sort of career that many MBAs would love to pursue. Post MBA. So you know, this step that you took, investing in your personal and professional development. Why Europe? Why Judge? Why the MBA?
Yeah, good questions. So as you mentioned, I had some success early in my career and really enjoyed what I was doing. But I reached a point where I felt I needed to take my career to the next level and really kind of take some time away from the working world and just reflect on what I had done to date and really focus on what would be next. And for me, that was the MBA made sense to do that, to surround myself with a bunch of people from different experiences and different cultures, and really transform who I would be as a leader and prepare myself to be a leader in the future. So I wanted to make sure that I found the right program for me that would help me do that, help me become a stronger business person, business leader. And that's why Cambridge stood out to me. Once I started speaking to people from the program and from the university, and then coming to visit, I saw how special of a place it was. And it felt like it was the right fit, and I felt confident that I would be able to achieve my goals and really become, like I said, a better business leader in the future.
Of course, Judge brings individuals from all walks of life, you know, professional backgrounds, and it is a place to explore, you know, to think about next steps. And I was very intrigued that within the intensity of the one-year program, you managed to secure an internship at a football club, and Cambridge United, that once hosted my beloved Manchester United in an FA Cup tie.
Yes.
How did that sort of fit into everything else that you'd been studying and this internship?
Yeah, so that internship was kind of a great capstone to the year. But the dean of our business school, Christoph Locke, he is a director with the club. That's right. And so with the onset of COVID, as you can imagine, the sports industry really was rocked with uncertainty and not knowing when fans would be allowed back in the stadium. And, you know, for small clubs like Cambridge United, getting fans in the door and really having that loyal fan base stick with the club is imperative to their survival. So Christoph approached one of my classmates about doing a project to really help the club see what they could do to try and really get through the COVID situation. And so our project evolved a bit over the summer, but it was just really great, a great way to integrate ourselves with the community of Cambridge and kind of get to know an institution here in the city and see how we can help them really expand and engage with Cambridge a bit more in the future. So not only just getting through this next season and really kind of scrambling to you know, keep up with all the changing regulations, which seem to be you know, changing every other week, but really preparing them for the future and really helping them gear up for, you know, the next season and onwards. So it was a great, like I said, capstone to the year and really forced me and a few of my classmates to put our heads together and say, you know, how can we draw on our experience from what we learned in the classroom, as well as our previous professional experience, and really give back to the club. And it was a great way to also mold our personal interests in with our business interests and give them something meaningful. So yeah, it was a great way to finish out the year.
You mentioned the word football in South Bend, Indiana. and it's Go Irish, right? With
Yeah,
a
go
school like
Irish.
Notre Dame. Have you learned to say football as it applies to soccer?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My colleagues at my previous company made sure of that. We actually did some work with some football clubs there, so I've started to be ingrained with it. I'm not sure I'm ready to give up American football, but yeah, it's been good to learn a bit more about European football.
Now, of course, Judge attracts individuals from all cultures, so many nationalities that come together for this 1 year experience. Is that one of the highlights in terms of all of these different viewpoints and perspectives on the world?
Absolutely, and that was one of the main criteria that I was looking for in a program. Prior to the MBA, I had done all of my formal education in the U.S. I had the opportunity to work abroad both with Baxter and with Hilco, and to me, I think that was the most eye-opening experience and something that I felt was something I wanted to prioritize in my career going forward. I mean, the world is only getting smaller. Um, and I thought it was important to surround myself with people from different cultures and countries and really learn from them as much as I learned from the formal academic courses. And I think Judge does a great job of bringing in that diversity and making sure that you have those chances to work with people that think differently from you, look differently from you, have different experience, and really that's the way I think one of the biggest transformations I made was getting those interactions, meaningful interactions with my classmates who came from a totally different background from myself, and very, very grateful for that opportunity, and would say that was a selling point for Cambridge, and it absolutely delivered beyond my expectations. So very happy about that.
How does that then extend to the university? Because of course, Judge is embedded in this extraordinary institution over 800 years old. Do you have interaction with the colleges and university life and everything else that's going on in biotech and science and entrepreneurship?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's another great part of Cambridge and the experience that you have here. So the MBA, as part of the MBA, you are required to join a college at the university. And that I think gives people a great way to kind of choose their own adventure while they're here. Undoubtedly, we spent a lot of time with each other, with the MBA just being a pretty intense 1 year program, but um, you know, you could choose to integrate yourself with your college. I know myself personally, I decided to join my college's rowing team. So I got to know some people in the college, again, who are studying everything from medicine to psychology to law. And it was, yeah, like it was a natural fit. It was a natural extension of the program. And as well as choosing to get involved in certain extracurricular activities, it's everyday things like formal dinners where you sit down next to someone who's maybe an astrophysicist studying their PhD, and you just don't get those opportunities in other situations. So I think being integrated into the university and being able to mold your experience to however you want it to be is incredible, and really a great way to round out what you're learning at Judge and really take it to the next level. I have some classmates who are going down the entrepreneurship route, and they've found business partners with different people from the Cambridge network, whether that's product design or super tech related. But yeah, it's definitely an opportunity that they have had solely from being in Cambridge and being part of that broader university network.
Setting an alarm at 5 a.m. to be on the River Cam in a rowing boat sounds a lot better than waking up early to study for an accounting exam. It's intensive, right? The 1 year. How do you fit everything in? You have to be very organized.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think time management is a critical skill, and if you haven't mastered it before you get here, I think you will definitely master it by the time you're through the first term of classes. But I think it's really a great way. The school does a great job of kind of making you realize that you need to lean on your classmates, and you know everyone is kind of a master of their own world or previous world, and you're exposed to a lot of different subjects, a lot of different activities, and you have to manage all of that while you're also managing networking and social experiences too. So I think you personally have to be organized, but also I think one of the biggest takeaways I learned was, learning when you need to ask for help, or learning to find solutions with your classmates, so you're not just breaking your back by yourself and just focus on the books. Cambridge is so much more than just the academic program, and I think to get the most out of it, it's really leveraging on that network and leaning into the people around you to help make the most out of the situation, and know that they're going through it too, and just seeing how you can work together to make the most of it.
And in a year, you can make a career transition. This week, with the CentreCourt Festival, you've just started your new position at McKinsey. Congratulations for securing that place and focusing on restructuring, which I'm sure in the current situation, you'll have plenty of work. How does Judge then help to open the doors to McKinsey and other great firms?
Yeah, so I think certainly before COVID, when we could have companies on campus, we probably had one or two companies in Judge pretty much every night for a networking event. But it goes beyond just what the careers team does within Judge itself. It's again that broader Cambridge network, being able to send someone a LinkedIn message to say, hey, I was at your college, or I'm part of Cambridge. So it's really what the business school opens doors formally, but also informally beyond that, being able to tap into the network of Cambridge. And I think the good thing about the careers team is they give us so many resources to really learn how to make that leap of faith, or that connection with someone that you've never met before, and really just putting yourself in the best position to make a meaningful connection or networking event, and really take it to the next level. So it's a great combination of very hands-on. They're enabling us to really do whatever we want to do and supporting us in those endeavors, but then layering on the skills that we need to kind of make it our own adventure and journey.
Right. The top UK business schools Judge included as seeing a real jump in applications. It makes sense to so many people going back to business school. So it's a very selective program. As you reflect on applying to the school, holding up that mirror and the introspection involved, what advice would you have for our CentreCourt audience in terms of putting your best foot forward?
Yeah, I think for me, the biggest thing was having confidence in who you are, and knowing that that's what the admissions team really wants to see in the application process. I actually met Margaret at a different MBA event, and we just chatted for about an hour, and really I felt there was that genuine connection with her, and really got a great understanding of what Cambridge was all about. And to me, that was a game changer. I felt she got to know me, and I could just be myself as I put my application through. And I would say the application process can be kind of fatiguing, and it can be a journey to kind of get to the point where you're really comfortable with what you've put down on paper. 500 words isn't always a lot to get everything you want to say, but I think really spending the time to reflect on your journey and your goals, and being honest about it, I think is the number one thing to keep in mind, because this really is a personal journey that you're going to embark on, and you want to make sure that you're kind of starting at that honest and transparent point before you're even stepping foot into the classroom or into whatever business school you're looking into. So yeah, I would say, get through the process. It's worth it in the end, even though it might be a little bit of heartache and fatigue along the way, but it's definitely worth it.
Well, what a journey it's been, from finance to football and now the FTSE 100, working with McKinsey. Kellyn, thank you for sharing your experience, and just those words also about confidence, having the confidence to put together that story and share it with the school. I mean, you clearly took the time to ensure that the fit with the institution was the right one for you, and what a great demonstration of where it will take you. So Thank you very much for your time. Enjoy
Thank you.
next steps of your career with McKinsey. I look forward to staying in touch.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Matt.